The November sky is on fire this morning. We'll have to pull our hats down tight or the wind will rip 'em off and pile 'em up with the tumbleweeds. It's the last day of rifle season, and we've got one tag left to fill. Whitey's been with me for 3 days now. We've seen some decent bucks, had a couple close encounters with a muley we call Hollywood. Yesterday we watched from a distance as a couple hunters shot from the other side of the boundary fence. The spot where the two orange vests stood over their kill was the exact location we last saw Hollywood. We've decided to make one last stalk through the Badlands this morning in search of that elusive 30-inch mule deer, that diamond in the rough. 9 16-hour days ago, Chuck Bardwell cooked up some Cajun-style fish that he brought with him from Louisiana. I wonder if amberjack from the Gulf of Mexico has ever been fried up in Sheridan County, Nebraska. It was a tasty kickoff to another great rifle season here at Deer Meadows. Lee from Wisconsin opened the season on Saturday morning with an old muley that he and Gene put the stock on. Later that afternoon, Mitch from Texas dropped a nice muley when it stopped to look back at whatever spooked him out of his bed. Marlin from Kansas shot his trophy on Sunday afternoon, ending a 2-hour stalk and crawl through the yuccas. Rodney from Pennsylvania ended his hunt early Monday morning when he popped the perfect rack muley known as Corey's buck. Gene, Eric, and I took Tuesday to go scout the Paulette Ranch, getting ready for the next round of hunters. Five hunters from the state of Ohio arrived on Wednesday afternoon. Jessica fixed up a fine supper and we settled back on full bellies and told stories. Thursday, with new hunters on new ground, it was no surprise that everyone drove in that night empty-handed. Friday was a different story. Kurt shot a nice muley on the Rex, and at sundown Tom downed an old Abbott buck. Meanwhile, 30 miles west, Dwayne dropped a 165-inch whitetail on the Paulette. Saturday came and went with no success, and now it's Sunday morning, the final day of the 2008 rifle season. Gene and Jerry are over at the Rex, planning strategies to harvest one of the promising muleys they've been watching. Whitey and I are fixing to go on a serious trek through the Paulette Badlands. A couple miles in, we started bumping some single does. Then we sidestepped a bedded herd with a young 4x4. Rounding a steep hill, we spotted a single buck bedded on a saddle up ahead. One look through our binos brought us both to the same conclusion. Sure enough, it's Hollywood. We put a sneak on him, and our third encounter with the old boy proved to be his last. Shortly after we arrived back at camp, Gene and Jerry drove up with a beautiful buck that they found on the range behind Little John's house. A great way to end a great season. 9 hunters, 9 great bucks, and memories to last a lifetime.